Nihanyang, hello, I am the Dark Fae and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. We're going into the class trial now for a mysterious body, and I really think that it's Kyoko who's at fault. But like, is there a way to not convict her? Whoa, BYAKUYA and Makoto showed up together! Oh god, Toko's gonna be jealous. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together. Just the two of you? See? Huh? What are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself, but... We stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen, and then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... Oh. Or what? Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? I thought we normally just get into the elevators and go without waiting for him. What? I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. Even all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. I'm gonna guess it's Kyoko. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
hey,
See? Oh, jeez. Oh, but then, oh gosh. I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive! No, that's a ghost! Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late? Shut up, BYAKUYA.
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty. Oh, you're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. I've never heard him make that noise before. Grrr. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of ya. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right. Now we've got to deal with the ghost. Shut up, Hiro. I really wish that you would... I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, BYAKUYA stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Oh, okay. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you, where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So,
correct.
I went to investigate the 2nd floor of the dorms. Oh. That one, like, gated place next to the storage room that we could never get into. The 2nd floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Is that where, then, where Mokuro has been staying? The mastermind has been staying? Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then what did you find out?
So...
When did you find out? Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Huh?
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. Uh-oh. For her? That's a strange way to put it. Uh-oh. This class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would you say it's a crucial moment for her? She totally did it!
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the doors slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In the dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Oh no. Oh gosh.
I can't wait!
It's the colors are too gross. I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills! Chills! Kills!
Let's get on with the show! And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. I really feel like none of that makes sense. Yeah. Oh god, I'm running out of slots. Increases the focus gauge. Cool. Why can't I? Oh. These two are not. Okay, I understand. They're like... it cancels each other out. Okay. Cool. Then that's fine. Let's go.
Let's begin with a basic if you can I'll... Okay!
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Is he an idiot? I mean, I already know the answer is yes, but like... really?
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because
You're an idiot.
she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
He's literally like draining my brain cells.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
God, and he's making me think along the same lines of BYAKUYA. I hate it.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
Gee, that should be real hard.
Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait that Kyoko has, proves the body doesn't belong to her.
I got it!
Gloves?
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Monokuma's a dick.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
Right. I can't look at this like technicolored like
They
nightmare.
probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
If like Hiro wasn't here, things would be so much faster because we wouldn't have to explain this dumb shit. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko, but if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... Oh. Okay. Make your argument. Tattoo on the right hand, exploded body analysis, fake nails.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body
Refuting
wasn't
Hiro.
He got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, because her nails wouldn't have popped up. Plus, I don't think you can wear gloves if you're wearing
No.
nails that long.
There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird
Allegedly.
for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Excuse me?
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Thank you, Hina.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I
Oh.
wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
I swear, if Hiro makes me refute this again, I'm gonna punch him. Like, I'm gonna just reach through the screen and just punch
It
him.
should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
My god.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
You don't get to be like, oh, we need to do this next in the investigation after being like, it's a go. Oh, god.
That's the first thing I said. You're
Yeah.
the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
I want Hiro to die. Honestly. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Make your argument. But who am I refuting? Like... Sprinklers, exploded body analysis, tattoo probably on the right hand.
If Kyoko really is still alive,
God.
then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there
Maybe
wasn't
that.
any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Hmm. And the one thing that can tell us was on the victim's own body. Right, the tattoo, but then what am I refuting?
If Kyoko really is still alive,
Without
then
recognition,
who
like,
died?
is it the one without recognition?
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Damn it.
Shoot!
Okay, maybe it's... we can't identify the
Kyoko
body then.
Really is still.
Then who died?
Which is the only
I
other...
think so. The face was... and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma... Well, if we can't identify...
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really bad at figuring out what sentences
There
Rick.
was
Anyways.
one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Whoa there. That's a little intense, wouldn't you say?
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid.
Thank
Ignore
you.
them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
I was right when I said it was a wolf the first time.
Must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
What? Jesus!
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
Oh my god, just... you two need to stop
No,
talking.
That's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
How is it possible that BYAKUYA is becoming one, like, is like rising up in the tier of characters that I like?
Oh, really?
If you compare to the other tattoo to the other information, it would be the this thing, yes.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Oh, it's Hangman's Gambit. A wolf! A golf. This is the easiest Hangman's Gambit of my life.
Now I understand.
Now I understand.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast.
She has no stutter. She's talking about like book stuff.
He's the child of the
Never
trickster
mind.
god Loki. And a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right.
That she was the mastermind?
Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to
Oh.
solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
That's not really fair, though. I guess if they're the mastermind, though, because if they were like also technically like present for this or like a part of this, but they've just been like gone this whole time, like okay.
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
So then she must have been like working with the mastermind, kind of like how Sakura was, because Mukuro has not been like accessible to be like a target in this killing game, right?
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
Interesting.
After all, looking at
Yeah.
her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
So then, who would it be?
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from
It wouldn't be Kyoko.
Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
But if Kyoko was the ultimate despair, why would she like help us this whole time? Slash, why would she have killed Mukuro? That just seems real dumb. No?
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
That's also
No,
possible.
the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
Well, she was also the one who got the information on Mukuro in the first place, like with the profile,
My
so...
information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Okay.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at
That's
provocation.
funny.
Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record.
Is he pissed
The
off now?
reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
Oh, I love that. Into your big old brain.
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
But he said earlier, though, that one of the students is Mukuro, right? Because Mukuro is the mastermind. So it's not the headmaster. So it has to be one of the 16. If it's not Mukuro, then... Because everyone else is dead. So it has to be Sakura.
Wait, no. There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th
Shut
person who's been hiding
up.
all along.
Hiro.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Then Kyoko. I really don't believe it's Kyoko, though. Hang on. Now I want to just pause and think. Like, the only way that I can think of it is if one of the students is not actually dead. So that rules out everyone who was executed, I think. And then Sakura, because she committed suicide. And then all the students that were killed. So Sayaka, Leon in the first chapter, and then Mondo and Chihiro. And then Alter Ego also got broken. And then Celeste, Taka, and Hifumi. It's obviously not Makoto. And then those of us that are alive right now. Or I guess Sakura then in the last chapter. So then it's just the rest of us. If it's not Kyoko... Oh, but Junko died at the beginning. Right? I guess... But there's like no way Junko's not dead. Although I still think it's suspicious that the body has like a remarkable resemblance to Junko with like the boots and like the nails. So what if... Because Junko was the only one who died not at the hand of a student. She died because of Monokuma's Gungnir thing. So by Monokuma taking her out of the equation, what that like is the only thing I can think of that wasn't actually like participating in this killing game. That's like the one outlier, right? So what if Junko is somehow alive and is the mastermind behind this? But then I don't really know why Mukuro would have been hiding. And then maybe Mukuro was like the scapegoat for being the mastermind so that she wasn't in the original like pool of 15 and was hiding out in the second floor or something. I don't know.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Sure, but we don't really know how it happened.
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be 2 suspects.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden.
Sure.
However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name, but then you realize you're accusing Kyoko.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Objection!
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place.
Sure.
Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
That was, like, kind of condescending, but also, like, surprisingly, like, agreeable.
Me and BYAKUYA can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
No, because it had to have been after 7:30, which is after Hina and I met up in the dining hall, right?
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
Now he has a good memory. 9
I
o'clock.
got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Yeah. On the dot. Be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Correct, but the body wasn't there. The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi, correct? To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Alright. Sprinklers, or the exploded body analysis. It's one of those.
We've established a time frame for the...
Let me check what the sprinklers actually say. Are programmed to come on every morning at 7:30. This time is impossible to change. Body had been in the garden for 7:30. It would have gotten wet. And then the exploded thingy analysis says that because of this, the upper half was soaking wet and the bottom half remained dry.
It
So
took
much time
place
frame.
somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
2 o'clock. Where did that come
Yep.
from?
And Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
7:30.
That's more
Sprinklers?
than enough time to commit murder, I should
God.
think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Oh. Something happened. Okay, so sprinklers. 7:30. When the body must have
We've
appeared.
established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
Yep.
My
And
mouse.
Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
What? Okay.
Shoot!
Oh, I need to. It
We've
was
established a
7:30.
time
It's
frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between
This?
10 o'clock at night.
there. Yeah, 10 o'clock is the one. Because it didn't take place. Okay, yeah.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30
Someone's
every
gonna be
morning,
like, well,
right?
the body was wet.
So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet.
See?
Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How?
Also, how did she remember this if she got blown up by the
Are
bomb?
you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
What the fuck, Toko? Jesus!
Saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Okay, yeah, I hate Toko more than BYAKUYA.
Man, you're totally wacko.
Mm-hmm.
You really think it wasn't the sprinkler? You'd better tell us why!
I guess she maybe was unconscious so that she didn't see me dump water on the exploded body. The moment of truth? Oh,
I admit nothing. I hate you.
I kinda need to remember some controls.
Don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No.
It's really hard not
You don't know anything.
to focus like this.
Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No. I don't know anything.
I can't see how much HP she has. Okay. Explodability
This
analysis.
should prove it.
I didn't think I would have to do a bullet time battle so quickly.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
Ooh, okay. Thank goodness there was no
The
nega
sprinklers
time.
got the body wet. Shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
What?
I'm so sick of her.
Thank you,
Let's
Hina.
just move on.
Yeah.
The reason only the top half was wet was because
I thought I already. Oh, okay.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place
Somewhere else.
sometime after the sprinklers turned
Oh.
on at 7:30 in the morning.
At 2.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
And by then I was with Hina.
Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Good for
In
you.
which case, the only one
Uh-oh.
left without an alibi is Kyoko.
It still feels so weird about having to convict Kyoko. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Murkuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone?
I'd
That's...
just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Oh, shit.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
But is that because, like, we need her to figure out what happened? Or is it because if we do vote, we're wrong and then we die? Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
Or is it... Somehow I really think that it's the latter. But if we vote her and we're wrong and we all die, is there anything to stop her from figuring out the rest of the school.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko,
That
you
was cute.
actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all.
Then who
And
is?
as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all
Unless it is
expecting.
Junko.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
That's true, it could have been moved.
What are you?
Because there was no blood anyway.
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain
Or
something
that.
to keep it from getting wet.
Certain something that was used. The tar.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water.
Why was it so dirty on one side
In
then?
fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
I would have thought it was the other way around, that the water would not have made a tarp dirtier.
This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why?
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like
Is she
the one
pointing it at
Makoto
me now?
just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want me to look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? So why is there no blood? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what do I? Hang on. But... I think this is now a matter of whether I trust Kyoko or not. Because when she said that if you vote me out here, then the mystery of this school will forever be unsolved. That sounds like, you know, like a little meta hint. Like the game's like, if Kyoko dies here, you lose. Is what it sounds like to me. But I don't know how to not refute her and then immediately lose if we vote wrong. Like, what happens? Okay. Cause yeah, well, I guess if it's like this, make your argument. I don't think there's a way to continue without actually doing it, because then it'll just be like my hearts.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Oh good, I got the right one.
That's wrong.
Okay.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? BYAKUYA said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Yes.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Camouflage? Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
But that's maybe possible since there wasn't any like blood stain on the ground around the body, right?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like
I mean, because
that?
Hifumi did something similar with the blood from the nurse's office.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
Yeah.
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Oh, the chicken! I'm not sure what.
I got it!
Oh, that's sad!
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
But why?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
5!
But after the murder, there were only 4.
Oh.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Yeah?
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
A weird point to make, but I mean, yeah, no waste.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
This is getting very complicated.
Covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait,
Oh, it's backwards.
the head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
Which I don't have an alibi for.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, After you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Actually, no, because she went on ahead.
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Still don't think it's possible that I could climb like four floors, do all that, and then, well, maybe. Makoto's slow.
Then
But
you had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Interesting. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Disguised dead body has been added to the truth bullets. Oh.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one.
We're back to square one, and that's where I'm going to maybe leave this episode here. Very interesting. This whole trial feels so strange. But I guess we'll just keep going and see what happens. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for notifications when I put out new videos. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!